So welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today I will be reviewing scary stories scary stories to tell in the dark. Now this is a really good horror slash kind of comedy that I highly recommend you guys check it out. Now before I get into the video, make sure you guys check out my merch in the link of the description, and also go check out my music in the link of the description as well. Let's go ahead and get into this. So scary stories to tell in the dark. You basically start off with these group of teenagers. They wind up in this house. One of the girls takes the book. She reads from the book. She opens it. And that's where all of these recreations of the story begins. You got Harold and everything like that. As a kid, when I was, 6, when I was 6 and 10 years old, I actually used to read these books as a kid. Um, I think can't talk. Apologize. I think they actually did a really good job recreating the book. I thought they did a really good job, recreating the monsters from the book, and I think the designs of the monsters were really cool, very creative. And yeah, I think they did a really good job creating that very simple story, but it's one of those stories that's effective. And two, this is one of those um, really good PG-13 movies. Especially in today, you don't get a lot of good PG-13 movies. It's very rare nowadays if to get a good PG-13 movie. This is a really good PG-13 movie. Like I said, simple premise. You get a group of teenagers that wind up in house. They get this book, has the scary stories in it that we know of. Like I said, they did a really good job recreating the the stories, like the Big Toe, Harold the Scarecrow. They did a really good job recreating them, and I think this is a really good movie. And it's set on Halloween, and the time it's set on Halloween. I think it's like in like the 50s or the 60s, and I like that. I like that it makes you guess. Oh, is it set in this time period or this time period? You most likely know what time period it is, but it doesn't hit you with it quite yet. So I do like that. Again, for what they do with the PG-13 rating, it's really good. The whole atmosphere, the whole vibe, it's there. The eeriness, it is there. The whole eeriness, it is there. I love this movie. I think it's a really good movie. I do give it I don't know if I would give it a 9 or a 10. Why I would give it why I might just give it a 9, because there's one thing I would change. I would have gave it a R rating. Um, yes, I understand they was targeting a younger audience with this movie, but you gotta understand, a lot of people, went to see this in the theaters, and a lot of people are fans of this movie. So they think, the studio that put this movie out thought they was just targeting one audience. No, not really. And I think they kind of knew that. Mainly the writers and the directors knew that, because there's like some horror movie elements in there. Like from you know what I mean. But I think if they had that R rating, they could have really pushed that horror element. They could have really pushed that horror element. They could really push the kills if they had that R rating. And even if they had the studio approval to use that PG-13 rating to kind of go over the line with some things. Because you can get away with some stuff just with a PG-13 rating. It is hard, but you can do it. And I think that's what maybe the chef did. But regardless, this is a really good movie. Like I said, they did a really good job recreating the stories. The monsters look good. The all the people who played the characters, all the acting was really good in this. The acting, the whole recreation of all the stories was really good. The atmosphere is there. The eeriness of these monsters from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the books, really good. Like the Red Room, the Big Toe, Harold. I sound like a broken record, but they're really good, and I highly recommend you guys checking this movie out. Like I said, if you want a movie that has a good atmosphere, this is this is the movie for you. Like I said, very simple premise, but it's one of those simple movies that it is effective and it works. And simple is sometimes is better, and in this case, it is better to go simple. I love scary stories to tell in the dark. Highly recommend you guys checking this movie out. I would give this movie a 9 out of 9. I think if they just tried to push that PG-13 a little bit more harder, or just went a full R rating, they could have really did a lot more stuff with the, with the horror element, because you could tell like the director and the writers and the producers behind this movie, you could tell like they really wanted to go the full horror route. You could tell they wanted to go a full dark element. You could tell that's what they really was going for, but they kind of had to keep it tame for the younger audience, So, but I think regardless, the directors, the writers, they did a really good job making this film. So I highly recommend, and I give this movie a 9 out of 9. Like I said, it's very good. Highly recommend you guys check it out. Very eerie, a good atmosphere. Highly recommend you guys checking this movie out. So if you enjoyed my review for Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, smash the like button. Please subscribe if you're a first time viewer. Hit that notification bell. And let me know in the comments below, have you seen Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark? And if you want, check out my merch in the link in the description. It helps the channel out if you do buy something. It's totally up to you if you want to buy something, but it does help the channel if you do. Go check out my music as well in the description, and until next time.